Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent pennies, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The United States of America has always been a land of stories. Stories of freedom, ambition, and perseverance. From its earliest days, the country has not only shaped the course of history, but also created some of the most iconic symbols that we, as citizens and collectors, hold dear. One such symbol is the penny. It's a small coin with a history that goes far beyond its modest value, and today, we're going to dive into one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies ever minted in the United States. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent. At first glance, the 1944 penny may seem like just another coin in the vast array of change that passes through your hands on a daily basis. But as with many things in history, there's more than meets the eye. To truly appreciate this little piece of American history, we need to understand not only its design and minting process, but also the conditions that made it such a unique and valuable relic from a pivotal time in history. The Lincoln Wheat Cent, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, is a coin that stands as a testament to both the country's growth and its struggles. The coin was designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, and its design features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, with the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" surrounding it. On the reverse, you'll find two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots, with the words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent etched across the bottom. BY 1944, the United States was in the midst of World War II, and the world was a very different place than when the penny was first minted. The country had been drawn into the war after the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, and the effects were felt everywhere, from the battlefield to the home front. Rationing was common, and many everyday items were in short supply, including materials used in coin production. As a result, the United States Mint had to make significant changes to the metals used in coinage, particularly for the penny. Before the war, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. However, due to the war effort, there was a severe shortage of copper, a critical material for ammunition and other wartime needs. As a result, the U.S. Mint switched to using a composition of 95% steel and 5% zinc to create pennies in 1943. These steel pennies are easily identifiable by their distinctive silver color, which set them apart from the traditional copper coins that had been minted before. But by 1944, the war was nearing its end, and the need for copper in wartime production had diminished. The U.S. Mint returned to using copper for the production of pennies, and they resumed making the classic copper-colored Lincoln Wheat Cents. This return to copper marked the beginning of the next chapter in the history of the penny, but there was a twist. A small number of 1944 pennies were struck on steel planchets, left over from the previous year's wartime production, creating one of the rarest and most coveted errors in American coinage history. These steel pennies of 1944 were not intended to be made. The mint's intention was to resume normal copper production, but due to leftover steel planchets still in the mint's inventory, some of the 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on steel, resulting in a coin that was supposed to be copper but ended up being steel. This error, while small in number, would go on to become one of the most famous and valuable pennies ever produced. Now, let's take a step back and look at the coin's design and its place in American numismatic history. The Lincoln Wheat Cent, which was produced from 1909 until 1958, has always been a favorite among collectors. The design itself, featuring one of America's most revered presidents, has endured through decades of changing times. But it was the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent, in particular, that captured the imagination of collectors and historians alike, because it serves as a rare snapshot of a time when the world was on the cusp of change, and history was being written in more ways than one. As we examine the design of the 1944 penny, we see the familiar image of Lincoln on the obverse, with his iconic beard and solemn expression. The legend, "Liberty," arcs above his head, and the words, "In God We Trust," are etched to the left. The coin's reverse is just as iconic, with two stalks of wheat flanking the words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent at the bottom. This design, although simple, is one of the most enduring representations of American values and the nation's agricultural roots. For decades, The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent has been a mainstay in many coin collections. It's a coin that speaks to the era in which it was produced, an era marked by a war that shaped the world and a nation's recovery from that war. But the true allure of this coin comes from the story of the steel pennies, those rare, misstruck coins that were produced in 1944 by mistake. The error occurred because some leftover steel planchets from the 1943 steel pennies were still in circulation at the U.S. Mint. The exact number of these misstruck steel pennies is unknown, but it is widely believed that only a few were ever produced, making them extremely rare. The rarity of these coins is what has made them such a coveted item among collectors. But beyond their rarity, these steel pennies have a story to tell. A story of human error, of wartime shortages, and of the enduring legacy of the Lincoln Wheat Cent. Now, let's talk about the true value of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While most 1944 pennies are worth only 1 cent or a small premium above face value, the steel version is a different story. In fact, a 1944 steel penny in good condition can fetch an impressive price, sometimes reaching into the thousands of dollars. However, in rare cases, such as with coins that have been graded as being in exceptional condition or that have been authenticated by experts, the value can skyrocket even further. In recent years, a 1944 steel penny that was graded as being in excellent condition sold at auction for a staggering $220,000. That's right, $220,000 for a single penny. This sale shocked the numismatic world and underscored just how valuable rare coins can be, even when their face value is just 1 cent. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, rarity, historical significance, and condition can make all the difference. The reason the 1944 steel penny is so valuable is not just because of its rarity, but also because of the historical context surrounding its creation. It's a coin that symbolizes the end of World War II, the transition back to civilian life, and the resilience of the American people. It's a coin that represents an era of innovation and perseverance, a time when every scrap of metal was needed for the war effort and when even the smallest mistakes could create a lasting legacy. But beyond its monetary value, the 1944 steel penny is a piece of history that speaks to the resilience of the American people. It's a coin that was struck in a time of great hardship, yet it has survived to become a symbol of the country's strength and endurance. For collectors, it's more than just a valuable artifact. It's a reminder of the extraordinary journey that the United States has taken to become the nation it is today. So, as you hold a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent in your hand, take a moment to reflect on the story behind it. Think about the struggles of the past, the lessons learned, and the people who worked tirelessly to ensure that the country emerged from World War II stronger than ever. And if you happen to come across a 1944 steel penny, you'll be holding a rare and valuable piece of American history, one that could one day be worth more than you ever imagined. In the world of numismatics, the value of a coin is determined not just by its metal composition, but by its rarity, historical significance, and the story it tells. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent, especially the steel version, is a perfect example of how a small coin can have a big impact. It's a coin that continues to captivate collectors and historians alike, and it serves as a reminder that even the most unassuming objects can carry with them a rich and fascinating history. So, the next time you come across a 1944 penny, take a closer look. It may not be a rare steel penny, but it's still a piece of history. And who knows? You may just be holding onto a treasure that's worth far more than its face value. Top 2. The story of the 1992 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one that stretches back over a century. While most people may dismiss the humble penny as nothing more than loose change, within the world of numismatics, coin collecting, the seemingly small and insignificant 1-cent coin has a rich and storied past. The Lincoln penny, or cent, has been in circulation since 1909 and has undergone several changes in its design, composition, and production methods. But it's the 1992 penny that has captured the imagination of collectors, thanks to a rare and highly coveted error that makes this coin extraordinarily valuable today. To understand the importance of the 1992 Lincoln cent, let's first look back at the history of the penny and its designs. The first Lincoln cent was issued in 1909, created by the U.S. Mint to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse design featured a portrait of Lincoln, created by renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" around the image of the president. The reverse side featured two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage, which is why the coin is often referred to as the wheat penny. The wheat penny design remained in circulation for decades until 1959, when it was replaced with a new reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, created by artist Frank Gasparo. This change coincided with the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The new reverse featured an image of the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America at the top and E Pluribus Unum at the bottom, flanking the words 1 cent. The Lincoln Memorial design would remain in use until 2008, when it was replaced by a series of state-themed reverse designs as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The 1992 Lincoln Cent, while part of the familiar Lincoln Memorial design series, holds a special place in numismatic history due to a rare and valuable error that occurred during its production. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies as it does every year, but not all of them were created equal. Among the standard pennies minted that year, there was a small but significant number that contained a noticeable error, one that would go on to make the 1992 penny highly sought after by collectors: the missing initials of the designer. Normally, on the reverse side of the Lincoln Cent, near the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial, you would find the artist's initials FG, which stood for Frank Gasparo, the engraver who designed the Lincoln Memorial. These initials were added to the coin to indicate his authorship of the reverse design. However, during the 1992 production run, a small number of coins were struck without these initials. The error came about due to a worn or damaged die, which had been used too long or improperly during the minting process. As a result, these rare coins were struck without the FG initials, making them an anomaly in an otherwise standard year of coinage. This error is particularly rare because, for most coins, especially modern coins like the 1992 penny, it's common for details to be thoroughly checked during the minting process. The U.S. Mint typically takes great care to ensure that the dies and other equipment used in production are in good condition. However, due to the high volume of coins being produced and the constant need to keep up with demand, some coins occasionally slip through the cracks, unnoticed by the mint and overlooked by the general public. This is what makes error coins so intriguing to collectors: the fact that they represent a mistake, but a mistake that's part of a larger, often fascinating story. So, how can you identify if you have one of these rare 1992 pennies with the missing FG initials? It's relatively simple. All you need to do is carefully examine the reverse of the coin, specifically the area beneath the Lincoln Memorial. Normally, you will see the small initials FG engraved into the lower right corner of the monument. If the initials are missing, then you are holding a 1992 no FG penny, an error that has become one of the most highly sought-after coins in recent years. These missing initials on the reverse of the 1992 penny make it a valuable coin, but the rarity is what really makes it a collector's dream. Only a small number of these pennies were produced with this error, and they are virtually impossible to find in everyday circulation. Most of these coins were likely melted down or spent, further diminishing their numbers, making them extremely difficult to track down today. But why does the 1992 no FG penny fetch such high prices? Well, the value of a coin is determined by several key factors: rarity, demand, historical significance, and condition. The 1992 no FG penny is highly rare, with only a few surviving examples known to exist. Collectors, especially those focused on error coins, find the absence of the initials to be a particularly intriguing anomaly. Additionally, the 1992 penny is part of a design series that spans decades, and this small error creates a unique piece in the timeline of U.S. coinage. Furthermore, the 1992 no FG penny is valuable because of its connection to the larger history of American coinage. The Lincoln Cent is one of the most iconic and well-loved coins in U.S. history, and owning a piece of that history, especially a rare error, holds significant appeal for collectors. It's also worth noting that error coins, particularly those with a well-documented backstory, tend to appreciate in value over time as they become more recognized and sought after by the numismatic community. The condition of the coin also plays a major role in determining its value. Like any other coin, a well-preserved, high-grade 1992 no FG penny will be worth much more than one that is heavily worn or damaged. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no visible flaws. A 1992 No FG penny that is graded in high condition can command much higher prices than one that is in poor condition, as collectors will pay a premium for coins that are in the best possible shape. When it comes to rare error coins like this one, condition is a critical factor that can push a coin's value from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars. So, what is the current value of a 1992 No FG penny? While the exact value can vary depending on the coin's grade, condition, and market demand, some of these rare coins have been known to sell for as much as $38,000 at auction. Yes, you read that correctly, $38,000 for a single penny. This staggering price is a reflection of the rarity of the coin, as well as the increasing interest in error coins and the broader numismatic market. It also demonstrates just how valuable seemingly insignificant items can become when they are rare, historically significant, and sought after by a passionate community of collectors. The 1992 No FG penny is a prime example of how a seemingly small mistake in the minting process can lead to big rewards for those who are lucky enough to find one. For coin collectors, these types of error coins hold immense value, both monetarily and historically. And as more and more collectors seek out rare and unique items for their collections, the value of such coins will only continue to rise, making the 1992 No FG penny a true gem in the world of American coinage. As with any rare and valuable coin, it's important to approach the process of buying and selling these coins with caution. Always ensure that the coin is properly authenticated and graded by a reputable professional, as counterfeit coins can sometimes be passed off as the real thing. Having the coin certified by an expert will help ensure that you are getting the true value of your 1992 No FG penny, whether you are buying, selling, or adding it to your collection. In conclusion, the 1992 Lincoln 1-cent penny, with its rare error of missing the FG initials on the reverse, has become a sought-after and highly valuable coin in the world of numismatics. It's a reminder that even the most common and seemingly insignificant items can hold incredible value when they are rare, unique, and part of a rich history. The 1992 No FG penny is not just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a testament to the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, and a rare treasure that can be worth up to $38,000. So, the next time you sift through your change or examine a penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Top 3. In the world of coin collecting, there are few items as iconic and as universally recognized as the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin has undergone a series of design changes over the years, reflecting shifts in both artistic trends and historical milestones. Among the many versions of the penny, the 1976 Lincoln cent holds a particularly special place in the hearts of collectors, not only due to its historical significance but also because of its unique attributes and the valuable surprises it holds for those fortunate enough to find one in excellent condition. The Lincoln penny, as it is often referred to, has been a staple of American currency for over a century. Initially, the coin featured a wheat sheaf on the reverse side, symbolizing the agricultural roots of the United States. However, this design was changed in 1959 to the now famous Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the reverse of the penny ever since. The year 1976, however, was a particularly noteworthy year for American history. The country was celebrating its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. In this climate of national pride and reflection on the country's past, the U.S. Mint issued special bicentennial coins, including a special design for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. While the penny did not receive a new design for the bicentennial, the year 1976 still holds significance due to the coin's role in the overall celebration of the nation's history. The 1976 Lincoln cent is part of the ongoing series that had been in place since 1959, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design, created by sculptor Frank Gasparo, was a departure from the earlier wheat design and has become synonymous with the Lincoln penny. On the obverse, the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, faces to the right, framed by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1976 below his image. Below the date, the coin bears the mint mark indicating where it was struck, either the D for Denver or the S for San Francisco, depending on the minting facility. The coin's reverse features an image of the Lincoln Memorial, with United States of America inscribed at the top, E pluribus unum at the bottom, and the denomination 1 cent prominently displayed. While this design had been in use for many years by 1976, it still held significant meaning for the American public, symbolizing national unity, the strength of the country's ideals, and the memory of one of its greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln. The year 1976 marked the height of the bicentennial celebration, and while the penny itself did not undergo any major changes, the significance of that year cannot be overstated in the context of American numismatics in terms of its composition. The 1976 Lincoln cent was made from a mixture of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The U.S. Mint had been using this composition for many years, and it would continue to be the standard until 1982, when the Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition to deal with rising copper prices. For collectors, the composition of the 1976 penny is a key feature in its appeal, especially because it represents a period in coinage when the coins were still largely made of copper, giving them a distinct weight and color that collectors find particularly attractive. Despite the bicentennial celebrations, the 1976 Lincoln cent itself doesn't feature a commemorative design like the quarters or half dollars released that year. However, collectors have always paid special attention to the coins from this era, partly due to the general excitement surrounding the bicentennial and the historical weight of the year. And while the 1976 penny may seem like a typical modern coin, it holds an allure for many collectors due to its unique place in history and the fact that it is often overlooked as part of the broader numismatic landscape. So, why has the 1976 Lincoln cent become such a coveted piece among collectors, especially those who specialize in modern U.S. coins? The answer lies in a couple of factors, the most important of which is rarity. While there were billions of 1976 pennies struck, the condition in which they are found can greatly impact their value. Most 1976 pennies are in circulation today and show significant wear and tear. This means that a coin in pristine condition, particularly one with very little to no signs of wear, becomes much more valuable to collectors. And this is where the story of the 1976 Lincoln cent becomes truly intriguing. To understand the allure of the 1976 penny, we need to look closely at the minting process. The U.S. Mint produces large quantities of pennies every year, and most coins are produced for regular circulation. However, when it comes to rare and valuable coins, the key is finding one that has not been heavily circulated and remains in near mint or mint condition. This is where the 1976 penny stands out. Although it was produced in massive quantities, a small number of these coins were struck in exceptional condition, making them highly sought after by collectors. One of the most significant features of the 1976 Lincoln cent is the fact that it was one of the last pennies to be struck with the traditional copper composition before the switch to the copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. As a result, these pennies have become even more desirable due to their historical context. The scarcity of high-quality 1976 pennies in mint condition has only added to their allure. A well-preserved 1976 penny, particularly one with minimal wear and clear details, can command a premium price on the numismatic market. In terms of value, most 1976 Lincoln pennies are not worth more than their face value of 1 cent. However, a coin that is in exceptional condition, such as one graded MS-65 or higher, can be worth far more. Coins graded in mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and have sharp, clear details, can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50. While that may seem modest, the true surprise comes when you consider the rare varieties of the 1976 penny, especially the high-grade specimens and certain error coins. In fact, one of the most valuable varieties of the 1976 Lincoln cent is a special error coin that was struck during the year. Some 1976 pennies were struck with a distinctive doubling on the letters and numbers, particularly noticeable on the Liberty inscription and the date, 1976. This error, known as a double die variety, occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the image to be impressed multiple times on the coin. The presence of this doubling error can significantly increase the value of a 1976 penny, especially when the doubling is clear and pronounced. In the world of numismatics, coins with this type of error are particularly prized because they are relatively rare and can be difficult to find. As a result, the 1976 double die penny has become one of the most coveted error coins of the era, with examples selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and how pronounced the doubling is. But the story doesn't end there. The most coveted examples of the 1976 Lincoln cent, in particular, those with the double die error, can fetch extraordinary prices at auction, with well-preserved, high-grade examples sometimes reaching as much as $55,000. That's right. A 1976 Lincoln cent, which was originally worth just 1 cent, could be worth $55,000 in certain conditions. Of course, this is an exceptional case, and finding a 1976 penny that is in pristine condition and exhibits the double die error is rare. But the fact that such a small, seemingly insignificant coin could be worth so much is a testament to the world of coin collecting, where rarity, history, and condition all come together to create valuable treasures from the past. To wrap up the fascinating story of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny, it's important to emphasize just how significant this coin is within the context of American numismatics. While it might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, the 1976 Lincoln cent is a product of a historic year and represents an important moment in American history, the bicentennial of the United States. With its copper composition, unique minting errors, and the appeal of its historical context, this penny has become a highly sought-after item in the coin collecting world. The next time you come across a 1976 penny, take a moment to inspect it carefully. If it's in excellent condition, it could very well be worth far more than its face value. Whether it's a pristine specimen or an example of one of the error varieties, the 1976 Lincoln cent represents a piece of American history and a potential treasure worth as much as $55,000. Coin collecting, after all, is all about the thrill of discovery, and sometimes, the smallest coins can yield the biggest surprises. Top 4. The 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one that intertwines the beauty of American coinage with the fascinating world of numismatics, where a small coin can tell the story of a nation. At first glance, the 1984 penny may seem like just another piece of everyday currency, but in the world of coin collectors, it is far more than that. For collectors, especially those who specialize in Lincoln cents, the 1984 penny holds a certain charm and allure. It's a coin that carries with it the rich history of American coinage, the changes in minting processes, and, in some rare cases, the potential for surprising value. To understand why the 1984 Lincoln penny is so significant, we must first take a step back and look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The coin, which was first introduced in 1909, was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president, Abraham Lincoln, and its introduction marked a milestone in American coinage. The design featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, which was meant to symbolize the nation's agricultural heritage. The wheat design, known as the wheat penny, remained in circulation until 1958 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design, created by engraver Frank Gasparo, first appeared on the 1959 Lincoln cents, celebrating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Since then, the Lincoln Memorial has been the standard reverse design on the penny, with only a few changes in the coin's composition and appearance over the years. However, by the 1980s, the penny was already entrenched as a symbol of everyday life in America. In 1984, the coin marked the 75th anniversary of the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been in use for a quarter of a century by that time. The 1984 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, just like any other year's coinage, and it featured the same design that had been in circulation since 1959. The obverse showed Lincoln's bust, along with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1984. The reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, with the words "United States of America" above, "E Pluribus Unum" at the bottom, and 1 cent prominently displayed. These elements have remained a part of the penny's design, with only minor updates to the coin's overall appearance and composition in later years. The 1984 penny was struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was in place for the Lincoln cents from the time of its introduction until 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc version due to the rising cost of copper. In 1984, however, the coins still retained the familiar copper composition, giving them a distinctive weight and color that many collectors find appealing. The 1984 penny is often seen as one of the last classic pennies before the change in composition, adding a layer of nostalgia for those who appreciate the older, heavier pennies. While the 1984 penny might not seem especially rare or unique at first glance, its true value lies in a few key factors. Like any coin, the value of a 1984 penny depends largely on its condition and rarity. Most 1984 pennies in circulation today are in average or worn condition, with signs of use that are typical for coins that have spent decades in circulation. However, there are still some hidden gems to be found among these coins. One of the most significant aspects of the 1984 penny is its potential for error, which has captured the attention of collectors. Error coins are one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics, and the 1984 Lincoln penny is no exception. Throughout the years, the U.S. Mint has occasionally made mistakes during the coin production process, leading to the creation of rare and valuable error coins. In the case of the 1984 penny, one of the most sought-after varieties is the 1984 double die penny. A double die error occurs when a coin die is improperly aligned, causing an image to be stamped multiple times in slightly different positions, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the design. In the case of the 1984 penny, this error is most commonly seen on the Liberty inscription and the date 1984, where the letters and numbers appear to be doubled. The 1984 double die penny is a prized specimen among collectors, particularly those who specialize in error coins. These pennies are highly sought after because of their rarity and the clear visibility of the doubling, which makes them easy to spot even for novice collectors. The value of a 1984 double die penny can vary depending on the quality of the doubling and the condition of the coin, but examples in excellent condition have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. A 1984 double die penny in mint state, with sharp and clear details, can be worth as much as $45,000, making it one of the most valuable error coins in modern American numismatics. This type of error coin is particularly appealing to collectors because it represents a mistake in the minting process, but it also symbolizes the human aspect of coin production. Coin errors are fascinating because they show how even the most carefully crafted processes can result in unexpected and sometimes valuable outcomes. For collectors, owning a coin with a clear and recognizable error is a source of pride and excitement, as it connects them to a piece of history and a rare anomaly in the world of American coinage. But the 1984 penny is not just valuable for its errors, it also carries historical significance as part of the broader story of American coinage. The Lincoln penny, which has been in circulation for over a century, is one of the most enduring symbols of American history. The 1984 penny, as a continuation of this long tradition, represents a bridge between the old and the new, with its classic copper composition and iconic Lincoln Memorial design. As a coin that was struck during the height of the 1980s, it holds a special place in the collective memory of the era and in the ongoing evolution of American currency. For collectors, the 1984 penny is a coin that can be both affordable and highly rewarding, especially if one is fortunate enough to find a high-quality specimen or an error variety. While most 1984 pennies are not worth more than their face value of 1 cent, a coin in excellent condition or with a significant error can command a much higher price. This makes the 1984 penny a perfect example of how coin collecting works. The thrill of discovering a rare and valuable item, often hidden in plain sight, is what drives collectors to seek out these tiny treasures, in terms of market value. A standard 1984 Lincoln penny in good condition will typically be worth just a few cents more than its face value. However, once you begin to look for error coins or coins in excellent, mint state condition, the price can rise significantly. A well-preserved 1984 penny in mint state can be worth anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on its grade. But the true value lies in the rarer, error varieties, particularly the 1984 double die penny. The 1984 double die penny, as previously mentioned, can be worth up to $45,000 in exceptional condition. This price is indicative of the rarity of the coin, as well as the demand from collectors who are always on the lookout for rare and unique items to add to their collections. The 1984 double die penny is considered one of the top modern error coins in the Lincoln Cent series, and its value is likely to continue rising as more collectors discover its rarity. For those interested in acquiring a 1984 double die penny, it's important to be cautious and ensure that the coin is properly authenticated. Counterfeit error coins are unfortunately a part of the numismatic market, and it is essential to work with reputable dealers or grading services to ensure that a coin is genuine. Certified examples of the 1984 double die penny, graded by professional services such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can command the highest prices as these organizations provide a guarantee of the coin's authenticity and condition. In conclusion, the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem like a relatively ordinary coin at first glance, but it holds a special place in the world of coin collecting. Its historical context, its role in the ongoing tradition of the Lincoln cent, and its potential for rare error varieties all contribute to its appeal. The 1984 double die penny, in particular, is one of the most coveted error coins of the modern era, with the potential to fetch up to $45,000 in exceptional condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey into the world of numismatics, the 1984 Lincoln penny serves as a reminder that even the smallest coins can hold immense value, both in terms of history and monetary worth.